We saw some short covering happening on Nifty futures also on Friday. Do you think this level is sustainable?
Absolutely, yes, Sajid. I think this is sustainable because of a lot of reasons. One is there are two different styles of trading which is going on in the index. Start of the fresh expiry, the Jan series. There is short covering the bank Nifty, and there is long built up in the other way around. There is long built up in the bank Nifty, and there is short covering in Nifty. So it tells you that the bank Nifty is moving into a stable trajectory. Uh, and the Nifty, there is more of short covering, which tells you that the pace of rally will intensify in the mix in terms of the Nifty. You look at the sector participation. We've been discussing that banks and bank Nifty is the one which is taking the charge. You look at the Nifty Energy Index, I think just 1% or 2% away from a lifetime high. You look at the Nifty Infra Index, again, few percentage points off from the lifetime high levels. PSU banks already at life highs, or at least at 2024 highs. You look at the metal index at a multi-year high. So the number of sectors which are hitting the lifetime highs are improving. The second and the best data point which we've seen is the change in the market mix in the last 1 week or 10 days. Maybe at mid of December somewhere, if you can place it that way, we were looking at almost 70 to 80% of the stocks in the Nifty mids and the small cap index, which were trading sub their 20-day moving average. That number has now dropped down to almost 40% and less than 40%. So that tells you that the number of stocks which have improved in the last 10-15 days has been dramatic. And we've seen a vast improvement in terms of those kind of numbers, stocks riding on the back of higher volumes, seeing breakout for themselves. Names like Coal India, for example, a stock which has been subdued for the last 4 quarters, that stock has come back towards a 5 quarter high for itself. So there have been so many stocks which were more or less like sleeping giants over the last 4-5 quarters. These stocks have made a comeback for themselves. That I think is a very strong signal that this move in the index is not just sustainable, but it is here to be built up.
Okay, so that's your take on the overall sector. Kunal, what about some of these names, the banking names? How are they shaping up on the charts? And in fact, not only banking, we've got consumption, retail, FMCG, lots of updates to talk about, and we'll get to that. But overall, from banks, if I have to summarize what Harsh has said, Bank of Baroda, AU Small, IDBI Union, all looking good. But on the flip side, it's Yes Bank and RBL that were slightly below estimates. Which one of them do you think has the potential to scale up further on the charts?
So PSU Bank still, in fact, I've been mentioning this point that I expect that at least by the first half of 2026, I would expect that PSU banking stocks could clock in returns of at least 10 to 15% higher than where they closed in 2025, because of the way the rally shaped up for many of the PSU banking names. We are looking at a point where the breakout is a very strong breakout. It's more like a multi-quarter breakout for many of the PSU banking names. Leadership intent, which is coming back into the PSU banking stocks. So I would be very bullish on the entire space. I'm not sure of the price action which could happen today, tomorrow, but then overall, over the next, say, 4-5 months particularly, I would look at least another 10% upside broadly for many of the PSU banking names. So even with the likes of Bank of Baroda, Canara Bank, which has been apparently the better performing stock in the entire PSU banking name in terms of price performance, and then SBI, of course, which is the leader in the pack.